Hi everyone, this is Allison Yetter again. I've been getting a lot of questions about how I personally use OneNote in my own classroom. So I figured I might as well just show you guys how I do it. Everyone else, everyone can do whatever works for them, but I just wanted to put this out there in case it can give anyone any ideas about how they want to use it in their own classroom. So first, I'm going to show you how I did it last year. So the first thing that I did was I posted the online textbook password at the very, very top here. I didn't post it underneath content library or collaboration space because I wanted it to be kind of in the students' faces so that they couldn't forget where it was. Seems like no matter how many times I tell them, they always seem to forget where it is. Last year, I actually didn't use the collaboration space because I had some weird glitchy issues with it. So if you want to have a document where students can all write on the same document, maybe like fill out a graphic organizer jointly, but from their own computers, I actually think Google Docs is a really good tool for that. So I would just post a link for the students to use rather than actually using the collaboration space. Okay, the content library is kind of a confusing thing for a lot of people. Basically, content is anything that we want, anything that we give the students access to, anything we want to present to the students. So basically what this content library is, it's a collection of all of the pages and sections that you wanted to show your students. And so the way that I organized this content library was I organized it by week. So you can see here, this is the second semester, I have week 1 through 20, and I added the dates in there just to keep everyone on the same page. And anything that I gave them access to, I would categorize into these different weeks. So the things that I would include in each section for each week were my weekly lesson plan. So I made a page for a weekly lesson plan here. This is the same thing that I have posted on my board. This year, I'm also going to post this on Canvas. I've already typed this up in OneNote and copied and pasted it right into Canvas, and it worked seamlessly. So that was really cool. And then I'm going to skip, I'll explain these in a second. Then any kind of notes that I wanted the students to have, I went ahead and added in here. I had a story that I wanted them to read. Here there's some notes, some grammar notes. So I would just, kind of post this stuff in here for the students to take a look at. Anything like that, any kind of notes or anything like that. And then I give the students a warm-up every single day, practically every single day. And I was finding it really overwhelming and exhausting to have to grade a different online assignment for every single warm-up on top of the classwork and on top of the homework that I would give them. So what I decided to do was make a page for each week where the students would complete all of their warm-ups. So I would only have to grade one warm-up page a week. And that actually ended up working out really well for me. So anything that you put in this content library, I just want to make sure we're all clear, the students cannot edit or write on. So anything that I put in here, they cannot write on it. However, anything that's under their own name, they can write on. So you can see this is this student's handwriting. He did all of this work because it was under his name. But if it's under the content library, the only person who can write on it is the instructor. And you can see that this is my handwriting right here for the students. Okay, I'm going to actually pop over to my future class just because I haven't written anything on it, so you can see what I do week by week. So what I do is I create a template. It's a template for all of the warm-ups, and I distribute this page to the students while it's empty. Okay, so right now the students can't write on this, so I want to give them a copy that they can write on and that I can check later. So I'm on this page, I click Class Notebook, and then I go to distribute page. If I only want to distribute it to one class, I do distribute page. If I want to distribute it to multiple classes, then I pick cross notebook distribution, and I pick the different classes that I want to distribute that page to over here. You can see all these different classes I can choose from. Okay, or you can distribute a page to one student. So like if you have a student who came in, maybe a week late or something like that, they switched into your class, you can distribute something just to one kid in particular, or you can do a group distribution. So you can differentiate your instruction as needed with that. Okay, so once I've done that, I go each day of the week, I go ahead and add my own or I go ahead and add the warm-up that I want them to do. So let's say I want them to do a vocab practice activity. Spanish. I'm just going to type in Spanish vocab practice just for fun. Not sure that I would actually use this, but let's just go with it. So animals. Awesome. Who doesn't like animals? So I'm going to take a screenshot of this if I want them to do this activity. And if you don't know how to use the snipping tool, holler, and I will teach you how to use it. So I just copied this. I clicked Control-C on my keyboard. I'm going to go back to OneNote. Under Lunes, which means Monday, I'm going to go ahead and paste that picture in there. Now the students can see that this is the activity that I want them to complete on Monday. And so on Monday, when they come into class, the first thing that they do is they go to the content library, they go to the week that we're in, they go to our warm-up template, they click on the image, they copy it, then they go to their own page. Don't mind this is from something I did earlier. And don't panic if that shows up. I haven't really ever had this be an issue, to be honest. And it looks like there's a dismiss option up here. So I'm going to, if I'm a student, if I'm Angelo Sebastian, I'm going to come in here. I just copied the assignment that the teacher posted, and I paste that right in. I paste that right into the template that's under my name, because now I can write on this. Whereas I could not write on this one. And then I just do that the same every single day. So on Tuesday, I'll put a different assignment that I want them to do for the warm-up. Angelo's going to come in here. He's going to copy that assignment. He's going to go back to his own template, and he's going to paste that in there. And I do that exactly the same way for classwork. So I give them a classwork template. Any classwork activities that I want them to complete on OneNote on Mondays, I put that all in this, I put all those activities in Monday. And the same thing. And if I say, okay, guys, we have a classwork assignment, Angelo's going to know. He's going to go to his name. He's going to go to classwork, and he's going to take a look under whatever day of the week it is. He's going to take a look at whatever day of the week it is. He's going to copy that assignment, and he's going to paste it into his own template. And the same thing goes for homework. Now for handouts and notes, I give them a section group. that's called handouts and notes, and I give them notes according to, or I'm going to give them notes according to the unit, because one of the things that I got feedback from my students last year was that they really liked being able to go back through their OneNote to study for the final. They found it really easy to study that way, and I think if I keep these notes that I give them categorized under the chapter, I think that's going to help them even more. So this is things that I put under here are not necessarily things that I want the students to complete. It's more like notes that I want them to have for their own reference. And if they have these notes in their own notebook, that means that they can write on them. They can add whatever, notes, personal notes that they want to, which is really handy. So that's pretty much how I do that. You can also separate it by unit. So I'm trying something different with my Spanish 2 class this year because we have a new curriculum for them. I'm gonna, instead of going week by week, I'm gonna go by unit. But I'm gonna do the exact same thing, same idea. I have a dictionary here where I'm gonna have them input their different vocabulary. I'm just going to delete this duplicate page while I'm at it. Throughout, so they're going to put their vocab on here throughout the year. Now, one thing I do want to show you guys is that there's a really cool, or one of the great tools about Canvas is that Canvas has that calendar of assignments, and it tells the students when they have an assignment due date coming up. And I know that that's something that they really enjoy having. And the cool thing about OneNote is that OneNote can actually connect to Canvas. So if you make an assignment that you want the students to complete on OneNote, it gets posted in Canvas. It gets posted in the gradebook, and it gets posted in the calendar. So the students can get that reminder about that assignment. So I think that's a really cool thing to combine those two, because OneNote you can write on, with your, physically write on it, whereas with Canvas you're limited to typing. So if there's something where you want them to draw, or something where you really want them to be handwriting something, you can connect OneNote and Canvas to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing you need to do is you need to connect your students. I'm going to do this with my Spanish 3 class. All right. So when you're in the class notebook tab over here, you're going to click this little gear that says connections. So go ahead and click on that. Then we're going to click down to connections. I'm going to let that load up. Okay, I'm just going to sign out really quick so you can see how this process goes. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to go to connections. I was already signed in previously. So you select your LMS, which is Canvas. Don't get excited about this Aries. Clicking on Canvas and sign in. And the URL is, I don't know if you guys remember this from last year, but it's ecrchs.instructure.com. And you hit submit, authorize. Okay, and it's a little bit disconcerting because it just disappears. It doesn't tell you like, oh, success or anything like that, but it did work. So I'm going to click on connections again. Now what I need to do is I need to map my class notebook. So basically what this process does is it connects this notebook in particular to the course on Canvas, to the correct course on Canvas. So this is an important step. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to find that class. Okay, so this is the class that it connects to on Canvas. So I'm going to click that class and I'm going to click OK. Again, it doesn't tell you that it was successful, so don't panic. We have one more step to go through. We're going to click Map Students. Okay, now here you go through and you make sure that each one of these students matches the name that's on here. And these are alphabetical, so I'm looking for Sebastian, Angelo Sebastian. I would go down, I'd look for Anna Mercer. Oops. Look for Anna Mercer. Hopefully you won't have to do this more than once because I could see this being a little bit tiring. I'll just do one more. Avery Knight. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm just, in the interest of time, I'm just going to go through 3 of them. But ideally, you'll want to go through all of these. And I'm going to hit OK. And then that's complete. Now that means that this notebook is connected to Canvas, and any assignment that I make in this notebook will go to Canvas. So let's say there is a classwork assignment that I want them to do, but I don't necessarily want it to be on my template. I'm just going to title this trial assignment. Okay. And I click create assignment up here. Okay, and because this is going to go to Canvas, I don't want the students to be confused as to where to complete the assignment. I'm doing this because I want them to complete the assignment in OneNote, but I still want it to show up in the gradebook and in the calendar on Canvas. So I like to just give the kids a reminder as to where they should be completing this assignment. This assignment is to be completed on OneNote. Okay, so yeah. Okay, you check your due date, you check your due time. If you want to lock the page after the due date, you can do that. Choose how you want the grade to be recorded, how many points you want. Okay, and then the other thing is that when you create an assignment in OneNote, it automatically distributes that page to all of your students. So you want to be really careful before you create an assignment that it's something that you are 100% ready to give to all of your students, because you can't go back and delete it from all of your students at once. You would have to do it one by one student at a time, which takes a long time. So just be careful. And then you go ahead and you hit create. And then at the bottom it says creating assignment. So we're just going to let that finish up. Okay, assignment created successfully. So now just to show you, if I were to go to Canvas right now, and I'm going to go to that class. If I were to go to assignments, that assignment just popped up. When the kids click on it, the directions, this assignment is to be completed on OneNote. Okay, so at least they know that. Now, the other cool thing about this is that you're able to review the student work and you can actually enter a grade. So you can review the student work of just this notebook, or you can review the student work of multiple notebooks at one time. I'm just doing this one in particular. Okay, the one I'm going to test this trial assignment, right? So, and I put that in the classwork folder. And I click next. Okay, and I click on trial assignment and I click next. You can lock the pages if it's not already locked, and then you can actually give the kids a grade right into OneNote. So you can see over there on the right that it says it has a box, then it has a slash and 5. That means it was worth 5 points, and then you're going to put however many points it's worth. Let's say Angela did a great job, Anna did a great job, and then Avery didn't turn it in. Okay, so, and the only reason why these are all gray is because I didn't take the time to map these students earlier. I just did 3 kids. So now I'm going to hit submit. It says grade submitted successfully. Now if I go back to Canvas and I click on grades, that assignment got added to the grade book. And if I scroll down, those grades that I just gave the kids show up in Canvas. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. So that is one way that I used to use that in my class, one way that you could use that. So anyway, that's pretty much all of my video now. Sorry that was so long. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to come work with you to find a way that would, work well for you in your classroom. I hope you guys have a great start of the year. Thanks.